overcome fear, failure, and doubt. I've often asked myself, what is holding me back? Many times in my life, I found the answer was fear. Fear of poverty, criticism, loss of love, getting sick, old age, even death that can paralyze us, preventing us from taking the actions we need to achieve our goals. What specific fear keeps showing up in your life, and how has that shaped your decisions lately? Hi friends, I'm Scott, and I welcome you to be one with me as we journey together to be the best we can. When we aren't making progress or achieving what we want, we tend to justify it with excuses and telling ourselves reasons why we can't do something. The challenge of getting what we want, whether it's a great relationship or material success, can seem monumental, and when we ask why we struggle to get what we want, it often comes down to some form of fear. What's one excuse you've told yourself recently? And what might be underneath it? Fear is the root of most of the excuses we make. And nothing ventured, nothing gained. It's a powerful reminder of what fear prevents us from doing. Without action, nothing changes. Fear can almost paralyze us, causing us to justify our inaction with endless excuses. Overcoming fear can seem overwhelming, especially when we focus on the enormity of the task at hand. But by breaking down the task into smaller, manageable steps, we can start moving forward. Soon, what felt like a giant leap becomes a series of smaller steps that lead us closer to having what we want, moving us further away from the fear that once held us back. What's one small step you could take today to move closer to a goal? Something that you maybe have been avoiding. Interestingly, fear can also be a catalyst for change. It can push us into action, forcing us to move in order to avoid negative consequences. Many times we overcome our fear simply because we need to take action to get what we want. When we look back at what we've accomplished, relationships, possessions, achievements, we'll often see that fear either helped us grow or it destroyed what we had. Fear, if faced and overcome, can bring us closer to what we want and what we desire. the other hand, fear that's left unchecked can lead to failure and missed opportunities. When was the last time fear helped you grow, rather than held you back? The challenges we face in the in the present, particularly with relationships or obtaining the things we desire, are all often rooted in past experiences. While our past failures have shaped who we are today, they shouldn't prevent us from striving for what we want in the future. We can only satisfy our needs in the present, in this moment, while planning to meet them in the future. By evaluating our fears, we can recognize that what holds us back isn't fear itself, but our lack of clarity on how to overcome it. Legitimate fears, those that protect us from harm or guide us toward our true selves, serve as tools for personal growth, not barriers. These fears rooted in survival or authenticity are often ones that we should pay attention to. Are you clear on which fears are holding you back and which ones are actually trying to guide you? Is there a past experience that might still be quietly influencing your present fear? Failures, whether in relationships, projects, or endeavors, often lead to doubt. It's easy to let past mistakes define our future efforts. When things don't go as planned, we might doubt our ability to succeed in new adventures or new ventures. But failure doesn't have to be debilitating. Taking small incremental actions, we can remove the doubt from the equation. Easy, small successes bring us closer to our goal, while every failure becomes a lesson, teaching us what doesn't work and guiding us toward what will. It's in breaking these things down into smaller steps that we take control over our fears and our doubts, moving us steadily toward the results we desire. When we have when have you let failure define you? And what would it take to rewrite that story? What lessons did your last mistake try to teach you? Are you listening? From a young age, many of us were conditioned to strive for success. We were praised for accomplishments and punished for mistakes. This mindset can carry over into adulthood, where we expect ourselves to perform at a high level in everything we do, seeking recognition, promotions, or validation. But this drive Yeah, the strive for success often comes with fear of failure. And as adults, we sometimes avoid risks or hold back from new opportunities because of fear not meeting expectations. Who are you still trying to impress? And is that voice serving your growth or your doubt? As children, we were taught it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. That, may have sounded good in theory, but as we grew older, we realized that constant losing isn't acceptable. And defeat has a real impact on our sense of self. However, we also learn that losing is part of life. The key is learning from our failures, getting back in the game, and improving over time. This mindset helps us reduce doubt and encourages growth even after setbacks. It's not about always winning. It's about making progress and minimizing mistakes by focusing on the things we can control. What would change in your life if you focused on progress over perfection? Doubt is a natural byproduct of fear and failure. It's a defense mechanism, a way for our minds to justify why we shouldn't take action. But doubt doesn't have to hold us back. Understanding that doubt is often a manifestation of past fears and failures allows us to move past it. Where would you be today if doubt hadn't gotten in the way? If we allow doubt to control our actions, we might miss out on valuable opportunities. Instead, we need to examine the things we've done right, even when we feel we've failed. What things have you done that you've done right that you haven't given yourself credit for? Every experience, no matter how difficult, teaches us something valuable. If it doesn't work now, put it in the bank. It'll come back. And you'll need that. Even in failure, we can learn what not to do next time. And through that learning process, we gain the wisdom to overcome doubt and fear, gaining courage to take into the future. But that'll be another video. Subscribe to this channel, like and share this video, and let me know in the comments about a time you had overcome fear, failure, or doubt, and the answer you found. Visit beonewithme.com. More is coming from the heart for the soul. Check out one of these videos. And remember, a smile can make someone's day, and the right words may change their life. Be you. Be one with me.